Adeline Margaret McClue, formerly of 11 Gordon Avenue, from 1935 to 1952. The Little Things That Happen by Marjorie Wilson. The little things that happen are tucked into your mind and come again to greet you, or most of them you'll find, through many little doorways of which you keep the keys. They crowd into your thinking. We call them memories. But some of them are rovers and wander off and get so lost the keys grow rusty, and that means you forget. But some stay ever near you. You'll find they never rove. The keys are always shining. Those are the things you love. My brother Len was an apprentice in the Royal Air Force when I started school, and was therefore in the services when World War II broke out in September 1939. My sister Vera enlisted in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, afterwards to become the Women's Royal Air Force, 2 days after the war started. So all the time I was a pupil at Garrowhill, my brother and sister were in the services. My brother, when he came home on leave, used to come for me on his bicycle, and I was always allowed to go home with him. One of my most vivid memories of those days is sitting on the crossbar of his bicycle and hurtling down the hill from the school. I'm glad to say we always made it in one piece. My dearest memory of the war years was when we had mock air raid warnings. Every pupil in the school had to hurry to their homes, ring their doorbells or knock at their doors, and then hurry back to school. This in spite of the fact there were shelters in the playground. To this day, I still cannot understand the reasoning behind that policy. It seems quite mad to send a school full of children to run about the streets in the middle of an air raid. Just as well it was only pretend. As I lived in Gordon Avenue, I was always one of the last back to school, and Mr. Hamilton, the headmaster, always hit me over the head with a book. Was that why he was called headmaster? During my years at Garrowhill, I remember quite frequent visits of a theatrical touring company. They put on shows for the pupils in the assembly hall. They were very popular, but the one thing that really stands out in my memory is the compere. She always introduced each act with the words item, number, whatever, but said each syllable loudly, clearly and slowly, so that it became a chant, which all of the pupils took up. All the children were issued with gas masks, and we had to carry them with us at all times. I was absolutely terrified of mine. I hated putting it on, and I can only be very thankful that we never had to use them for real. The girl pupils had to learn knitting, and we all had to make grey woolen shoulder capes for the soldiers in hospital. I'm afraid I cheated because I hated knitting, and my mum and my cousin used to do it for me. With the result, I was first finished in the class, and I was held up as a shining example to the others. Oh well, it was a long time ago. Talking about knitting reminds me also that my mum made me a knitted skirt and jumper in the school colours, which were maroon, yellow and green in my day. I remember my teacher getting me to stand in front of the class to show it off. Very embarrassing. Some fellow pupils' names I remember from early Garrowhill days. I wonder if any of you know that a bomb was dropped in Garrowhill. It was the night of the Clydebank Blitz, and it was believed that a German plane followed the railway line and unloaded his last bomb on the line at Garrowhill. Fortunately, no one was injured in Garrowhill, but the people of Clydebank were not so lucky. Here are some photos of my childhood in Garrowhill. Adeline McClue is now married and living in Brisbane, Australia. The staff, pupils and friends of Garrowhill Primary School would like to thank her for her memories.
school is 50 years old, and because it's 50 years old, we're having a celebration and we're having a birthday cake. And this beautiful birthday cake was presented by two former pupils. We have with us this morning Lynn Hamilton, her mum Mrs. Hamilton, and her grand Mrs. Purdy. And this is Gavin Brett and his mum and his grand Mrs. McGregor. They either are or have been pupils at Garrowhill School. And I would think that Mrs. Purdy, she looks very young, but she's the oldest former pupil with the class. So we're going to ask Mrs. Purdy to cut this cake. Now after that, there are photographers here from the Glasgow Herald and the Evening Times, but they wish to take a photograph outside with the three generations and the cake. So we will formally cut the cake now. Can I ask Mrs. Purdy to cut the cake? We've had various competitions, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Smith to announce the winners of these competitions. Won't be a minute.
Try and keep as quiet as possible. As you all know, the Primary 7s asked you to take part in 3 competitions. They asked you to design a t-shirt, a poster and a tie to celebrate the school's birthday. And each class has a winner for the tie design, the poster design. So what I'm going to do is, for each class, I'm going to read out the 3 prize winners. The winner of the t-shirt, the poster and the tie design. And the people who chose the winners were the former Pupils Committee. And they've been organising quite a few things that are taking place in the school during the coming week. So don't complain to me or to Mr. MacDonald or anybody else in the school. The former pupils made the decision. And I think obviously some of you are going to be delighted with what they decided. So in Primary 1, we have 3 prize winners, and they're each going to be given today a certificate and a keyring, just like the badge you're all wearing today. But you've got more things to get. You have a pen to get and a mirror, which is just like the badge that you've got. It's got the school name on one side and a little mirror on the other side. They haven't arrived yet, but you will get them, don't worry about it. So, in Primary 1B, that's Mrs. Colton's class, Laura Heady won the t-shirt competition, Laurie Gillen the poster, and Stuart Lawson the tie competition. Christina Negus won the t-shirt, Ellen Phillips the poster, and Lindsay Matthew the tie. Southing won the t-shirt, Sarah Rogers from the poster, and Natalie Bullock the tie competition. Paul Douglas won for the t-shirt, Douglas for the poster, and Lauren Taylor for the tie. And while they're collecting the prize, I think I'll read out primary 3B, that was Miss Martin's class. Andrew Clark won the t-shirt competition, Marcus Club the poster, and the tie competition was Andrew Clark again. For Mrs. Miller's class, the t-shirt, the winner was Jennifer Shields, Alan Dugan for the poster, and James Phillips for the tie. We come to primary 4 now, to Mrs. Thornton's class. Elaine Douglas for the t-shirt, Laura Miller for the poster, and Gillian Smart for the tie. And in Mrs. Shepherd's class, we have right, can we just keep it quiet? In Mrs. Shepherd's class, which is being taken by Mrs. Douglas at the moment, Mark O'Nichol won the t-shirt, Paula Silverman the poster, and Anne Cora the tie competition. The young lady confusing me here. For Mrs. Anderson's class, the winners were Kirsty Montague for the tie, Derek McCrory for the poster, and sorry, did I say Kirsty Montague for the t-shirt, Derek McCrory for the poster, and Louise King for the tie. In Mrs. McDonald's class, t-shirt Stephanie Greavy, poster Jennifer Miller, and tie Kirsty Tennant. In primary 5A, Mrs. Hanning's class, Sarah Barry for the t-shirt, Derek Clark for the poster, and Suzanne Bell for the tie. We have a very special prize winner in Mrs. Somerville's class because when he designed the t-shirt, we were going to have a t-shirt designed for the school, and some of you see are wearing it today. But when this boy handed in his design, we thought that it was very simple, and some of you went to a great deal of trouble to design your t-shirt. But if you have a lot of colours in it, it makes it very expensive to be made up. So we thought that this one was very simple, and that's the one that some of you are wearing today and that you all know is on sale. And Christopher Traynor designed that, so he's getting a free t-shirt today. And Gary Sheridan and James Smart, both of them are getting chosen one for the poster because they were both so good, and Lisa Taylor for the tie. So well done, Christopher and Heather. Primary 6A, Mrs. Lowe's class. David McNulty designed the t-shirt, winning t-shirt, Paul Owens the poster, and Thomas Hartley the tie. Now, for the primary 7th, who are all hiding in the back here and probably making a lot more noise than some of the people out front. We're actually one winner short, the tie winner, because by accident some of the ties were stuck down and we're not able to peel it off, and the winner won't claim the tie. So we only have 2 winners from Primary 7B, Mrs. Irving's class. For the t-shirt, Barry Hutchison, and for the poster, Linda Boswell. And finally, in Mrs. Sharp's class, Primary 7A, we have for the t-shirt, we're a little bit mixed up about this, but I'm going to read out the names I've got here. We might have to sort it out later. For the t-shirt, it was Stephen Lyle, who's on holiday. For the poster, Mei-Ling Wong, and for the tie, Leslie Rogers. Primary School Golden Jubilee on it, and you're going to get a piece of cake because it is a birthday.
At the end of the formal proceedings, we want the party here and the cake we wanted outside there for the photograph. Perhaps Mrs. Fulton's class and Mrs. Stewart's class could go out first, but with the rest wait till we get
It's actually going to take about 6. So don't always appear. Yes, 6 all around.
6 pounds. I'm not to send it out.
Yes, that's a good looking bunch.
Okay, right again, folks. Yeah, that's very nice, lovely. That's fine. And another one.
You back next year?
50 years.
Back next week.
Okay, that's nice, big smile, folks. That's nice. No cross eyes here. That looks okay. That's good.
Oh, look at the leg. Oh,
B for dog.
More elegant, that's better. Right, boys, your shirt's tucked in. Right, that's fine.
That's not our shirt.
Oh, it's not your shirt. Sorry about that.
No, hold it. Are we laughing?
The captain of the audience here. Okay, we're ready again, folks. This time, 3, 2, 1. Nice one. Some of you move over to that side, please. Right, next week, okay, ready, go. Another one. We'll do about 5. We're bound to get one of you like Right, now if you can stay in front of you, you can to the side so you're looking through the space. Noses, please. Hey, well, I'll practice one, okay? And I can't come back in 25 years' time to play it again. Hey, we'll take another one. You laugh at this anyway. Well, you don't have to enjoy this, you know. It's cheap, it's good cheap. Somebody know what photograph that's about.
Information about the photograph. The cameraman goes right side.
Okay, folks, this time, I'll take 2. And again. Thank you very much.
I feel very, very privileged indeed to have had this golden opportunity to meet former pupils and former colleagues in Garrowhill School. Sadly, there is nobody alive who was appointed to the October appointments of teachers when the school opened. In 1939, I was teaching in Glasgow and was evacuated with the staff and the pupils to Aberfeldy, where I spent 2 years. And at the end of 2 years, I only had 7 pupils left. They'd all drifted back, and I was the only staff member. But I'd collected others. I wasn't getting away with the 7. They'd come up from the south of England, and they came to my evacuee school in the town hall. But Glasgow wasn't going to wear it with me, with the 7 Glasgow pupils, so I was recalled. That was at the end of 41, but I had a wee think to myself, and I thought, if this war doesn't go the way I would hope it would go, I could be away again. So I presented myself at Lanarkshire House. Does anybody remember? Asked for a job, had an interview there and then, and was offered Garrowhill. Garrowhill, I never heard of it. It had sprung up while I was in the wilderness in away in Aberfeldy. So I came to have a look at it. I liked what I saw, and apparently I was approved of. And I took up my teaching post in what was room 6. I thought it was 21 as I had, and had a primary 6. And it was lovely on Saturday to find that some of those 1941 pupils were there. And they recognised me. That was another one. I had no difficulty recognising some of them. And they recognised me as Miss McCall, which I was then. And I had an amusing incident with Jessie Stillett on the phone. Somebody had said to Jessie on Saturday, "Have you seen Miss McCall?" And Jessie said, "No, I don't know her." Of course, she does very well, as Helen McClure, which she followed me about the county, actually. In the same year, 1941, there was another appointment to Garrowhill, just a month or 2 before me. Another young lady with whom I have kept in touch all during those 48 years. Mr. MacDonald has pointed it out. She's Yvonne Smith, now Bromley. She's here from Shropshire tonight. I'm absolutely thrilled to see her. We shared a lot of things. We shared fire watching. We didn't like it, but we shared it. There were mice in the school at that time. We didn't like it.
Here, the way I did, with a cabbage round your neck on the
Now, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to it because I was going to say that we usually share the same sense of humour. Not always. We also shared a love of music, and we used to escape from the staff room at lunchtime and play on 2 pianos in the hall. The Dance of the Orange Tarts, and I think Jesus Joy of Man's Desire were 2 that we tried to perfect. And we also rehearsed children for our school shows. We did such things as Darling Je vous aime beaucoup, to One Fine Day from Madame Butterfly. And we also had a chat team whose photographs you will see from the 1941 show in the corridor. They've got top hats and canes, were very smart. What else did we do?
Stage Door Canteen, the American shows, and you went always to the Empire Theatre.
That's right, I did. Saturday night.
All the ideas.
Well, anyway, to come back to the sense of humor, one of the things that I didn't agree with her about was, on the eve of my marriage in 42, she decorated me with a necklace of vegetables with a great big carriage and wheeled me round to Garrowhill in a barrow. Now, I could still get into a barrow, I am sure, but I don't know if you could push me down. But strangely enough, a former pupil on Saturday reminded me of the I'm not sure how many people saw me going round that hill. I stayed in Garrowhill until 44 when I left to have a family, and was away till 52. I Sheena and Ian, who were taught by people here, both pupils in Garrowhill School. And I wasn't away from Garrowhill School altogether. This is a kind of place that you keep coming back to. I feel like it's a song. You keep coming back like a song. You remember that one? But I seem to keep coming back because I came back in the evening for girls' clubs. And we presented our music and the drama in the Scott Maxwell estate, which I think you are now on. And I probably looking through rose-coloured spectacles, but it always seemed to be that the sun was shining on those sort of garden party days that we had when we did the music and drama that we did in the evenings, just with girls. 52, and Ian, my younger son, was to start school, and Mr. Hamilton came to me and said to me, if you don't come back, your wee boy will have no teacher. Well, I didn't want to be his teacher, but the threat of him not having one was too much for me, and I was prevailed upon to come back in 1952. And I was sort of all over the place at that time. I think I was over in the church hall at one point. The hall was used, yes it was. Somebody must remember that. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, we could. You were over there too. You were in the main hall at some point too. That's right. Long time over there. Yes. Well, I was here again until 55. And I was here as a temporary teacher during these 3 years because married women were frowned upon. I really was escaping the bottom of the barrel here to go to get a married woman at that time. No one's lived. And in 1955, I was offered a permanent appointment in Baillieston School, where I caught up with a very able pupil called Maureen Hamilton, who's here tonight. Maureen Lanford, where is she? At the back. And again I came back to Garrowhill because I used to rush off at 4 o'clock to help Sandy Flynn rehearse these shows. And I did that for a number of years until, and you were there. You remember that? Yes. The pupils remember that on Saturday too. And now, how long was I in Baillieston? About 10 or 11 years, and I went to Muiredge, Uddingston, as infant mistress after that, from the top of the school right to the bottom. And that was when the association was broken because it was too far. I moved away from Mount Vernon to Uddingston, and the association was then broken. The little programme that I got on Saturday said, see you in 2039. That was something to think about.
Happy birthday!
We'll be looking at the history of Garrowhill Primary School, in which your bums are all in skies. Now, the school first opened its doors. Now I want you to pay attention because I'm going to be asking questions. The school first opened its doors. For those who cannot read, 1938. It wasn't, however, some months later, the following year, 1939, when the official opening happened. Now, it was the dream of John Scott Maxwell that the school here and the church over on the hill should become the hub of the community. And what a hub they became. Now, can anybody tell me, and I don't want any shouting out, hands up only, can anybody tell me what else of any importance happened in 1939? We're shouting out. The girl there with the blue rinse and the...
Sir, is that when Mr. McDonald spent £5 in rovers?
No, that was just a rumour. It was never proven. And anyway, you tell me it wasn't his own 5 or something. That doesn't count. You obviously don't know, so I'll give you a clue. Can anybody tell me, and again, no shouting out, can anybody tell me who is that? Ah, I had the pretty young thing there with the short skirt. Very short skirt. Yes, dear.
Mark Gable, sir.
Clark Gable here. When did you think you were old enough to know who Clark Gable was? No, he's not got the ears for it. You're close. Try. I'll give you another clue. I'll give you one of my impressions. See if you can tell me who this is. Aye, the boy down there with the sinner.
Agnes Smith, sir.
No, it wasn't hardly Smith, stupid boy. You obviously aren't taking this seriously. Now these were depressing times. War had broken out. More important than that, whiskey was hard to get. Now, I said visual aids!